Today, I want to show you how I'm going to take this nice, delicious bowl of garlic and turn it into this. Now, I think it's safe to say that I may go a little bit overboard every year when it comes to planting my garlic. I have a tendency to plant a whole bunch of it. Last year, I think I harvested somewhere around 300 bulbs of garlic. I don't have any fears of vampires. I'm not trying to ward off any evil spirits. What I do with all that garlic is mostly I just give it away. I give it away to family, I give it away to friends. It's mostly what I do with garlic. So I don't know if I didn't give away as much this year or we just didn't use as much this year. I don't know, but I have all this garlic left over. Spring is around the corner. Well, actually spring has actually arrived, but we're going to be harvesting garlic in a few months and I still have all this left over. So I don't want to waste. So what am I going to do? I am going to turn this garlic into garlic powder. It's really simple to make your own garlic powder at home. You don't even need any special equipment. In my case, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my dehydrator. So let me go get my dehydrator. It's really simple to do with a dehydrator, or if you don't have a dehydrator, you can also use your oven, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So really the hardest job about this entire process is peeling your garlic. So you need to take apart all your bulbs and your cloves and remove the skins on your cloves of garlic. That is the hardest job. I am not kidding. Once your garlic is completely dried out, that is when we will be able to transform it into garlic powder. So let's get started. I've peeled all my garlic. Well, maybe not all my garlic. I did save a few for cooking in case I do need some. Well, I will need some, but I did save myself a few. Now, I don't usually have this much garlic to peel. Usually I don't mind just peeling with a knife or whatnot. But since there's a lot more, you know, when you watch social media and TikTok and YouTube, there seems to be a lot of personal opinions on the best way to peel garlic. So I'm going to try one of them and see if it actually does work, if it's worth all that hype on peeling the garlic. I have a feeling that I'm going to end up doing it the old-fashioned way with a knife, but I'm going to try this method. You tell me what you think, or if I'm doing it wrong, or if you use this method, leave me a comment down below, and we'll see how it works. Well, it's not bad at all, actually. Some of them came out peeled, but some of them not at all. Maybe I had too much, but at least it peeled some of them. Well, I got this many peeled by shaking, and I still have all these to peel by hand. So not so bad, but still a lot of elbow grease involved, no matter which way you look at it. So now time to start hand peeling what I have left. I have finally finished peeling all my garlic. I also cut them all in two because they're quite large and I didn't want these to take 24 hours to dehydrate. So now I'm going to spread them out in my dehydrator and start the process of dehydrating them. If you want to do this in your oven, you can absolutely put this in your oven. You have to put it at a really low setting, like 150 degrees if you can get it that low, and you really got to watch them close. So you're going to want to, put them in for an hour or two, check on them, see how they're going. You want them dry, and when I mean dry, it's brittle, they break. You can't have any moisture left in your garlic, otherwise you risk it clumping or not being dry enough, mold developing. So it really needs to get dry. So now let's spread this out in the dehydrator. I have 5 trays of garlic. I really tried to spread them out, give them a lot of room in between. It'll help it dry a lot faster and more evenly. We are going to be drying the garlic more like a vegetable than a spice, because it's more like, when you kind of look in the books, it's more like in the vegetable category. If I put it like a spice and I put it at that temperature at 85 degrees, it's going to take forever to dry. So I'm going to put it on the vegetable settings, that's 135 degrees, and it'll dry a little bit faster. I'm still estimating that this garlic will take anywhere between 10 to 18 hours to dry, maybe more, because they're quite large. The cloves are pretty large, even if I did cut them in half. Now, one more thing to remember with garlic. Garlic smells really good when you're making lasagna or garlic bread. But to have this drying in my house for 10 to 18 to maybe more hours, my house is going to smell like a garlic production plant. So what I'm going to do, so that it doesn't make my house completely smell of garlic, I'm going to plug this in my garage attached to my house, where it's not, doesn't freeze in there, but it is cool, just so that my house doesn't quite smell so much of garlic. Once they're getting pretty dry and if they're a little less fragrant, I'll bring them inside, but for the first 10 to 12 hours, they are going in the garage. So let's go get them set up there. So I've set up my dehydrator here on this little table in the garage. As you can see, the cat just walked right in front of the camera. I have my canning jars here on the shelf behind me. This is where I'm going to set up my dehydrator, and I'm going to plug it in the wall, set this at the correct temperature at around 135 degrees, and let this go. You are not going to believe me when I tell you how long it took to dry this garlic. I kept checking and checking and checking. I thought, there's something wrong. Is this even warm? Like, what is the problem? It took 4 days to dry this garlic. I am not lying. I put it at noon on the Friday, and it finished at noon on the Tuesday. I thought it would never dry, but finally it's dry. Now, when I say dry, it's dry. Remember, I said it has to be brittle, it has to break, otherwise there's still moisture in your garlic. Don't know if you can hear this. So it's really brittle. So there's no moisture left in this garlic. But it took a while. And to tell you, the aroma of garlic that was in my garage was insane. I am so glad I put it in the garage. And not only did I put it in the garage, I took my car out of the garage because I was afraid that my car would smell of garlic. Every time someone came over, if they came into the garage, they were like, what is going on in your garage? So now let's turn this garlic into powder. I'm going to try this first in my food processor and see if that works. And if not, we'll try some different things. Like I have a Vitamix, I have a blender. So I'm going to start in the mighty old food processor and see if it works well. Vitamix for the win. And no, I am not sponsored by Vitamix, but it actually really did a good job blending this up compared to the food processor. But so there you go. That's all it took to turn my garlic into garlic powder. Easy steps. Hindsight 2020, I should have cut my garlic a lot smaller than I did. It wouldn't have taken quite so long, but it wasn't hard work. It was just, running back and forth to check to see if it was dry or whatnot. So really not that big of a deal. I do hope you enjoyed this video and my content. And if you do, don't be shy, subscribe, and be sure to check back again soon.